even argue that magic's greatest mystery of all is the Indian rope trick, also known as the Hindu rope trick. This is an effect that has actually earned the nickname the trick that never was, as no magician, past or present, has ever been able to reproduce the effect exactly as described by legend. Houdini? You guys have all heard of Houdini, right? You almost didn't. Houdini was actually failing as a magician. That is, until he incorporated rope into his act. Only Houdini used ropes in ways that had never been seen by any audience or magician, for that matter, as he allowed himself to be bound and then escape from ropes that were tied by members of his own audience. In doing so, he actually spawned an entire branch of magic known today as escapology. I think the reason that rope has had such an appeal to magicians, myself included, because rope in and of itself is very simple in nature. No matter how long or short a rope is, no matter what it's made from or used for, every rope has just two ends and a middle. If you would have two ropes, you would have four ends. If you had three ropes, you would have 6 ends. I'd like to pose a question to the audience, an intellectual challenge. What if you had 1.5 ropes? How many ends would there be then? 3, and that's actually the most common answer. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, you're a very lucky audience this evening as you're witnessing an impossibility. We all know that no rope could have 3 ends and just the one middle. Even more improbable, or rather more impossible, you could have a rope with 4 ends. And still. Now it seems we have a bit of a problem here, as 2 of these ends are not in their proper place. If 2 of the ends were down here in the middle, it would be better. Watch. See? It's a little less crazy now, as we have 2 ends at the ends and 2 ends at the middle. But we still have a rope with 4 ends. 2 ends here and 2 ends here. Remember, nothing is what it seems, as we actually have 2 ropes. One here, the second one here. Now, if I go ahead and take the ends of my rope and tie them into a knot. So, if I were to do the same with the other rope. We are left, of course, with 2 loops. One here, the second one here. Would you be impressed if I could actually link the 2 loops together? Are you watching closer? You are? Make that effect is actually a lot easier than it appears. What you have to be able to do is make a knot disappear. So, I have a knot. Let's add a little snot. And now it's not. Alright, where were we before that absolutely ridiculous explanation? Well, that's right. We had a rope with 1. I know some of you think I'm cheating. I'm a magician. I must be. So what I'm going to do is try and make it a little bit easier for you guys to follow along with by actually taking 2 of the ends and placing them in my pocket. Now with the 2 ends secure in my pocket, you know it would be impossible to actually make a knot. Rope. And by the same token, with the ends still securely in my